A popular participant in the recent Inglis Easter preview webinars, Asian Bloodstock Services Marie Yoshida has a great outlook on the thoroughbred breeding industry around the world. It's always a pleasure to catch up with Marie, who was the buyer of many top-class racehorses over the years, including Hong Kong star Fairy King Prawn. Welcome to Bred to Win. It's so fabulous to have you just giving us some of your thoughts on not only your background but a lot of things within the industry we'll cover off in the next sort of 10 minutes or so. But you come from a part of France very near the Dutch border. It gives you a global way of thinking, doesn't it? Which I find really interesting. You don't really have borders in this industry, do you?
This is very true, Caroline. And so I am always proud to say I am Flemish. It is on this North Belgium-Dutch border. I have a French passport and I've been traveling a lot. In France, I mostly know Deauville. That's where my parents took me when I was from a young age to the horse sales, you know, in Deauville in August. And I've always been fascinated by the auctions, and I love from very young age to have my catalogs, to study, understand why this yearling is very expensive, why this one is not. And yeah, it's been really a pleasure to be in the industry.
A lot of people don't follow on from their parents' interests, but it is something that catches you at an early age, isn't it? And I know from myself, you watch a horse and then a few years later you'll see their foals coming through and their foals. What is it that captures you with that, looking at the catalogue and trying to pick the horse and remembering the parentage? What is it that really makes you excited doing that?
Well, everybody can remember stallions. And stallions can have 100 foals a year or more, but not so many people remember the mothers, the dam family. And at the end of the day, the big secret of the industry, it's all about the dam family. It gives 60% to sometimes 80% of the quality of a yearling or a future racehorse. And I'm very lucky I've got this photographic memory, so I can open a catalog page and I just can remember, and I love following the dam line. So on the catalog page you have first dam, which is the mother, and then second dam, which is the grandmother. And then what is interesting is like you have third dam, yes, the great grandmother, and then you remember after a few years, it's like, wow, I know this. You know, like earlier this week, there is a filly on the complex, and the great-grandmother was at Turanga Stud where I was 30 years ago, you know, and it's a line, a kind of dynasty. Yes. And I love this strong female dynasty line, you know, and things come back. Yes. If it's not one generation, sometimes it jumps, like for human beings, you know, but you will suddenly find, oh, this is the same time of attitude and yes, walk and presence and power, you know. For young people who want to, you know, invest in the industry, who have interest in breeding, you should not feel, you know, overwhelmed by, you know, the amount of money invested. If you can find some time in the same dam family, you know, that you love, a sister or half sister, or, you know, maybe unraced, then you can have a chance to produce very good horses.
The time you had at Turanga Farm, I mean, an incredible time for you as a young person, and you know, you were there. I know you know, playing touch footy with the young Mitchell boys, Harry and Arthur, and so on. And what an incredible time!
Yes, my parents were not in favour at all of me being in the horse industry. Yes. But I have an MBA and I started working in the steel industry in Dunkirk, and it was so boring. So I saved my money, and then in 91 I say, well, I have enough money, I can, you know, I invited my mother to Royal Ascot, yes, and then after that I was gone for 6 months here. And it was the best time. And you know, Turanga stud at that time, Dr. Phil Redman was an exceptional veterinarian, and with assistant of Dr. John Morgan, they were treating some of the best brood mares. I do remember vividly, I have a photo in my mind of a mare like Mapley Heights.
Yes, Mapley Heights, yes.
There was Finetto, there were like so many amazing mares, and I truly enjoy the way things were organized. And it was really always about the mares. It was, you know, stallions at that time, of course there was fashion, and it was less maybe pressure than now. But the mares are always the backbone of the farms. I always say to any investors, if you want to start a breeding operation, you should imagine buy 3 mares. You will get 2 foals, and maybe 1 only will go to the sales and the races, because there are so many heartbreaking stories. You know, like your heart gets broken so much, you know. But it is part of life. It is the same for human beings, and we should just, well, first be extremely lucky and healthy. You know, it's very important to do your due diligence list, you know, check many things before investing, buying in horses. But then be prepared, because it's not going to be a smooth ride.
Tell me about, so Hong Kong, you know, Asian Bloodstock Services, your company, and you've been there now for a long time, for 25 years or so. How do you operate your business?
So for me, you know, everybody in life has a goal or has a passion. For me, the ultimate racing game is Hong Kong. It is purely based on handicap. So it's fascinating. You are never bored. Any race, something gonna happen, you know. And you know, from the starting gate to the jockey to, you know, like so many factors. And it's twice a week on extra firm going. I need always to keep, you know, my Hong Kong clients, either trainers, owners, fully informed of what is happening outside Hong Kong in the horse industry, because there is no breeding in Hong Kong. It's a very small world. I mean, it's a small city, but it is fascinating and exciting. So this is, for instance, why I'm here, because right now, due to COVID, Hong Kong-based people cannot really travel. Because their quarantine to go back to Hong Kong is 3 weeks, which, believe me, it's a true torture. So it's more work and more extra, you know, energy spent, but it is even more critical to bring them the right information. You know, not only about horse condition, you know, like what here we have, but also the future trend, which stallion, which line, also for the broodmare side, you know, what should you follow? And also I was very lucky enough to attend the races at Rose Hill, and I could analyze some of the races, see, you know, which combination of stallion, dam sire, you know, the grandfather. It's very fascinating. And you just have you get a feeling for the industry, like Australian industry, which for us in Hong Kong is most important. Horses in Australia are very healthy, very sound, and very fast. And that's what we need, you know, no medication. And all these vendors here, they work so hard to bring the best of the best to Inglis Easter Yearling.